probably one of my, if not the best, favourite events I have. I love coming down there every year. I've been coming for many years because I've been a member of North Shore Sporting Car Club for years, and in the past I've helped out, not entering but running with the competitions that the local radio people ran down here, and doing rides for the winners of the competitions and that. So I've always loved coming here, and I love the roads. It's very similar profile to Coffs, which obviously I love as well. So it's the start of the year. I had no plans ARC wise or New South Wales rallies, but this is the one event that was top of the list. That was definitely one I wanted to do. Yeah, look, I suppose coming down, didn't really know what to expect after the seriousness of what happened over the Christmas and stuff. To be honest, the roads are in absolutely fantastic conditions, probably the best I've ever seen them. River Road, some of the parts is like asphalt. It's just so smooth and swept. So what we've seen today is just incredibly. There's been a lot of work done on grading since last year. So in 2018 it was very dusty. Last year it wasn't as dusty. It was good, but yeah, this year it's just the roads are the best condition I've ever seen them. So it's really looking forward to it. It's fantastic.
Like I've been coming here for a lot of years. I'm not sure when I first came here, but it's a lot now. We've been fortunate enough to win it the last couple of years, and obviously that's our aim now, is to push for a win. It would be very, very easy. We've been out in Recce some of the stages today and had a look, and it's very, very different to previous years. I think probably akin to what Canberra was after the big fires in the early 2000s. I remember the first time I went back there and the forest looked completely different. It's similar here, very wooded and very hilly here, so the actual road character still remains the same, other than a pine forest is different to that, but you can see through, as you say. So you could look at something that you have not quite as flat in your notes from last year, you can see through it this year, so you might be tempted to take it flat. That's not always the case, so it's going to be very, very interesting because the set of pace notes that you had last year would look completely different on what should be the same road this year. Richie's probably too close to talk about his driving style. He can still hear me at the moment, but no, in all seriousness, it's interesting when I hear that because some cars, yes, do let you get away with a little bit more. If you've got bucket loads of horsepower, you can make a small mistake. You're probably not penalised as much as we used to be in the Group N days, and two-wheel drive is probably similar to that. But every car and every timesheet rewards someone that's smooth. It's as simple as that. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of a philosophy about having big balls, holding it flat everywhere, all this sort of rubbish, but realistically you need to carry corner speed everywhere, and that's very similar down here. Where the fires have been through, there's a very swept line in the middle of the road, but there's been no traffic on the road for a long time, so in on the edges and the lines that we take, there is no line anymore. All that's full of sticks and shrubs and leaves and all the stuff that's fallen down from all the fires. So you're going to have to be very, very precise as to, sometimes you might want to be on one position on the road. That's the optimum racing line, if you want to call it that, but there's no grip there. So if you're going through there and you don't get any grip, you've got understeer, oversteer, all sorts of different things depending on where in the corner that is. So you've got to be very, very accurate on both your making of the pace notes and your positioning of the car if you want to carry the maximum corner speed, which gives you the best time at the end of the stage. Yeah, look, I still actually enjoy both forms of the sport, and I'd probably call it like that. To me, it's kind of like squash and tennis. It's both still a racket sport, and this is all still rallying, but a road book versus pace notes to me is very, very different. Both from a co-driver and a driver's perspective. And you're right, I've looked at the roads, and as even a couple of years ago, as you guys asked me to check out the road book as we did the Recce, to look at those sorts of things, and I think it's fantastic. It's a very good road book, probably similar to the Alpine in that there's quite a lot of information. A lot of road books don't give you much at all unless it's literally a junction or something that's completely dangerous. There is a little bit of showing you the character of the road in the road book here, so I really would enjoy this as a road book event, as well as the fact that obviously I like to go flat out on pace notes as well.
For starters, I think it's fantastic. Obviously, what's after happened with the COVID-19, it's not very good. But this is the first rally back since the restrictions have been lifted, and just to hear the names of some of the people who are entering, the likes of Toyota with the two Bates boys, and Aaron Windus and Tommy Clark, and just anybody of those, including ourselves, are capable of and can win it on any given day. And the fact that to me, outside of the Alpine, it's probably the biggest rally in the country, and it's a great accolade to have as a state round to say that. But the entries they get, and just the way it's ran, and you're going to have competitors from New South Wales, Victoria, and ACT. 3 states travelling to a state round, which is it's fantastic, and we're up for the fight, we're up for the challenge. We have challenged Harry and Lewis a few times in the last season or more, so it is a rally we've won a couple of times before, so we're as confident, and we need to be. There's no point in going in there and saying, look, we're up against the factory boys, what's the point? We need to be confident and believe in what we've achieved in the last 2 years, and try to go for the 3 in a row, and that's what we're going to try and achieve and aim for anyway, so we'll see how it goes.
100. Right side crest, then 5 left plus 50, right side grid jump, car off up here, right side grid jump 50,